Hey everybody, wanted to show you guys how we go down some big mountains in the Freightliner M2 112. We have the Detroit DD13 engine in this with an Eaton Ultrashift 10-speed. So we're getting ready to head down Donner's Pass right now. We're right at Donner's Summit. Just past this sign, I don't know if you can see on the video, downgrades next 40 miles. Slippery when wet, so we gotta be careful with that. One thing I like to do when we're climbing or going down big hills is I like to put it from auto into manual. I like control of the shifting. Now, we're at about 55 miles an hour now, so I just manually downshifted into 9th gear, if you can see that. And I'm gonna flip the engine brake on. Now I'm gonna use the low setting right now just because we're not hauling a really heavy load. The load we're carrying right now is only about 300 pounds. Now if I was carrying a load that was about 8,000 pounds, I would probably use the high setting on the engine brake, just because there's a lot more weight that needs to be slowed down going down this hill. So right now I'm in 9th gear. We're starting to go down the hill. I'm about 60 miles an hour. And if I start getting faster than I like to be, I'll just let off the gas and the engine brake will kick in. Now I got up to about 62 and it's slowing me down right now. 59, 58, 57, 56. So just using the low setting, and we're not on a real steep part right now. The GPS says this is about a 4% grade. Now I just hit 54, so I'm gonna use the gas to pick up speed again because it was slowing me down too much. Back up to 58, so I'll let off the gas a little bit. Now when you're doing this, you want to be real easy with the pedal, the gas pedal. Every time you push the gas pedal, acceleration, it shuts off the engine brake. As soon as you let off the accelerator, the engine brake kicks back in. So I got my foot off the accelerator right now, and we are picking up speed. Just hit 60. It seems to be holding right at 60, so we just bumped up to 61. Now sometimes you will have to use your brakes, but what the engine brake does is really help lessen the amount that you have to use them. If I didn't have the engine brake on right now, we would really be picking up speed, and I would have to hit the brakes a lot harder, which builds up more heat, and you know, overuse of your brakes going down a hill can cause them to overheat, and then you lose all braking power, and then yeah, that's not good. So we hit kind of like a little flat spot here, so we slowed down some, back down to 56. I haven't touched the brake or the gas. We're just kind of coasting down the hill. You know, Donner's Pass, like I said back there, it's 40 miles of downgrade. It's not all 6%. Sometimes it's 4, sometimes you go up a couple hills. It's on and off. So now if we were carrying a big 6,000, 8,000 pound load, I would have the engine brake on high to help slow down the more weight that we're carrying. Now I'm still coasting, doing 57 miles an hour. Haven't had to touch the gas or the brake. We're kind of flattening out here, so we're slowing down a little bit. I'm gonna use the gas pedal just to maintain about 55. And when I'm using the accelerator, I'm very lightly pushing on it. I don't want to pick up speed too fast. I just wanted to maintain my speed. Now I'm at 60 miles an hour in 9th gear. That's putting my RPMs at about 1500. Then the higher the RPMs, the stronger the engine brake's going to be working. The lower the RPMs, it's not going to have as much slowing down power. So the engine brake really works well at the higher RPMs. We're at about 56 right now. We're coasting again, going down a little bit of a hill, so we might accelerate a little bit, but I'm not using any pedals. Bouncing back and forth between 56, 57. Starting to flatten out a little bit, so I'll push a little bit on the gas just to kind of maintain the same speed. Now I'll try to do a video, maybe we're heading to Sacramento right now, and we'll be delivering this evening, so hopefully we get a load coming back this way, and I can kind of show you guys how we climbed Donner's Pass. 40 miles of a lot of climbing. It takes a little practice, you know, really maintaining a proper speed, a safe speed, and making sure you don't overheat the truck. Being in the proper gear going up a hill is very important. Maintaining the right RPMs helps circulate coolant properly. If you're at too low of an RPM, it's not circulating the coolant as fast, which kind of causes the truck to heat up faster. The higher the RPMs, your water pump's going to be spinning faster. It's circulating more coolant at a faster rate, so it helps cool down the engine more. Also keeps your oil pump circulating too, so keeps the oil circulating a little faster at the higher RPM. So you don't want to go too high on RPMs, because that could cause some overheating also. But about 1500 in this truck is just perfect for the RPMs for climbing and going down the hills. So one of the reasons I like to keep it in manual instead of auto when going up and down hills, well, mainly going down hills, is because with the engine brake on, it will downshift for you, and sometimes it's a little bit too soon. Like I found that right at about 6, if I'm in 10th gear going down a hill at about 65, right at about 63 it will downshift into 9th, and then once it hits that 9th, it ramps up the RPMs and it really slows you down. It's almost like slamming on the brakes. So I don't want it to slow me down like that right at 63. I like to let it slow me down to about 60, and then I'll use the gas to accelerate back up to 65. So when you keep it in manual mode, you have full control over when it's going to shift up or down. So right here we're climbing a little bit of a hill. I've pretty much been maintaining right at about 60 at 1500 RPMs, mainly because it's raining out right now, you know, and you don't want a lot of shifting going on in wet conditions, especially when it can be slippery. That causes the rear end to kind of jerk a little bit on the ground, and that could cause you to start to slip a little bit. So I'm maintaining a high RPM and a consistent speed between 50 and 60 miles an hour. I believe we're getting ready to start going down a pretty big grade here. I've still got the engine braking low in 9th gear. I am holding the pedal a little bit, kind of just maintaining 60. If I start to go down a big hill that takes me over that 60, then I'll start to let off the pedal. 2 miles, 6% grade. So I'm gonna go, they advise 50. I'm gonna go ahead and let off the accelerator now and start slowing down. We're picking up speed still, so I'm just gonna use the brake a little bit. just to slow us down a little bit. The engine brake's doing most of the work. I'm just slightly pushing on the brake pedal. Now, if you are accelerating too fast for the weight that's in your truck, maybe you got 1,000, 2,000 pounds, if you still are accelerating too much, what you can do is go ahead and put it in high. Now I'm at 60, we're doing 6% grade. And it's slowing me down quite a bit. I'm down to 57, 56, coming to the bottom of the hill, so I'm gonna use the accelerator a little bit. If I start to climb over 60, I'll let off. Now it takes a little bit of practice, you know, getting used to your truck, getting used to what load you're carrying. If you're carrying a 2,000 or an 8,000 pound load or anything in between, it'll take some getting used to whether to use the high or low on the engine brake, and whether to be in 9th or 10th gear. When we're climbing a real big hill, if we're carrying a really heavy load, I'll usually drive about 40 up that hill. That helps maintain a good temperature on the truck and the oil pressure. Now, if I'm carrying only a 200 pound load, I'll usually do about 55. When I'm doing 55, I'm in 9th gear. If I'm doing 40, I'll have it down in 8th gear. And those gears, you typically keep my RPMs right at that 1500. Keeps all my fluids circulating really good and helps maintain a good temperature while going up a hill. And it's all different during summertime or wintertime. Sometimes there's some really big hills out here, 6-7% grades. If you're climbing one of those 100 degrees outside, I usually go ahead and just do it at 40 miles an hour anyway, just so, because you don't want to overheat the truck, overworking the truck like that going up the big hills. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you guys are getting ready to get into one of these trucks like ours, I hope it helps you guys. Be safe out there on the road. Be careful when you're hauling those heavy loads, going down the big grades. That engine brake will really help you out a lot and not burn up those brakes. So I hope you guys liked the video. See you guys in our next one. Peace, love, and expediting.